I'm going to die. I'm going to die, like, unbelievably hard. I am aware of this. I might anyway, we'll see. She has found it. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. How? How? Oh, God. Alright. Let's just not let that happen. Let's just not let that happen, okay? No. Bad Thanatos. I'm feared. Lovely jubbly. Okay. Alright then. Okay. Alright, well. What the fuck was that? Okay, Gil. Oh god, okay. What the balls? Okay. Calm down, Gil. What the fuck was that? Alright. Whew. Granted, I stood still a lot of times because I was trying to throw her. I whiffed a lot of throws in that fight, but Jesus! Just when I thought I managed to throw off balance, Alyssa gets back up elegantly as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly, I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously up until now. In the next moment, I'm swallowed in a torrent of power, like a leaf being blown in the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs and I'm spun around, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps between me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and IsNation. Yeah, I just is still just on the floor, just knocked out. All of those I had fought up until now. It's like that story you see where your life flashes before your eyes before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far. I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that, I continue to stand shocked still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Igus earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much fruit.
Born much fruit.
Flute?
Flue? Chimneys.
I love her.
In any case, I am quite pleased.
Oh God, Elizabeth, I love you. Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me, even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me, and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future. It is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
We did! We literally fought a god because of that. Margaret said something similar just before the tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth's sons. What? Why Elizabeth's son? I get it, like Japanese thing, but it's like, you say Margaret, just say Elizabeth. Elizabeth's son's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what is truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that, once you only have that path in mind, does it matter whether you've opened the door or not. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth Arnold smiles at my answer. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point, and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
Well then, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Igus get into her feet behind me. Yeah, I said, play your music, girl. Play your music. It's what I want.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Igus doesn't seem to be very hurt, or damaged, or whatever you want to say. She was likely just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I had gone easy on her. Wait. Oh no, yeah, okay.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Igus laughs at your confusion.
Seeing you smile like that, I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
He literally just summed up her entire, character arc from P3 in about a second. Igus stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But, after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look Igus-san square in the eyes and nods reassuringly. And so, Igus told me about her directive. And it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with a heart, created to express the purpose, or created with the express purpose, of wielding a persona to fight shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world. So there's another robot girl. There's another robot girl.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you?
No, girl,
and
no.
she's the cause of all
No,
this?
robot girl. Say it with me now. Not girl, robot. Robot girl.
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
I wonder who Labris could be. I wonder what Labris looks like. We have not met Labris yet. She'll be interesting. Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately,
Igus-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but she's really no different from a human. As I listen to her, I think about what it means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President! Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister. so I assumed she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then there's no way Miss President could be Labrys. I could tell at first glance that Ibris was... No, Ibris. That I just was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human up until... well, until just now. But... this just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labrys is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug slightly. I don't want to be so grave. I just must sense what I'm trying to do, and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I give Aegis a determined nod and run out of the classroom. But man, what a busy golden week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at Junet's food court. Yukiko seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was probably box lunches that she'd made. As to how they might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all enjoy them anyway. I'm sure you would. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over. We would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroko store. Maybe I could have made it to the Suzai Agato. I'm trying to buy last their special crocs or croquettes. Is that a meat place? Is that the meat place? Probably. Wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the bookstore. I never completed the meatball challenge. I never. It's because there were no rainy days left when I maxed out my stats. God damn it. Okay. Never had a steak bowl at Aya. Hang out with the fox at the shrine. That fucking fox. Waited for my uncle so we could have dinner. And tomorrow I would have gone fishing. Just wrap up every Persona 4 activity in one paragraph, why don't you? If the one who ruined my vacation is the cause of all of this is the same person who stole Labrys, and if they truly brought Nanako back into the TV world,
I'll make them pay.
as I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it is a sign they need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Someone here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Ayo, Bay, I met your sister. Margaret's in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Margaret notices me looking around, sighs. A seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble. Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then,
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, the fake Teddy. My encounter with a weapon of heart, Aja-san searches for her sister Labris, and the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish. How do I show what I've decided through my actions? And plays a bookmark. Plays that goddamn bookmark. That fight was mad though. That fight was mad though. Seems that the number of invisible walls has decreased. Could this mean that the end is near? Just as I think that, I hear a familiar voice.
That's enough!
That was Miss President's voice. It was coming from the door to the announcement room. I've finally made it. I open the door to the announcement room and rush inside.
You're finally here. Hello, Sensei. Congratulations! How does it feel to have won the P1 Grand Prix?
Yeah, it's alright. The general smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Risei. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused, and Risei's face lights up with joy.
There you are, Senpai! You're late!
I have to stay cautious of the general, but I signal the girls that everything will be alright now. The general is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. And there's one more thing I need to know.
Teddy, where's Nanako?
I look around the announcement room, but Nanako is nowhere to be found. The general's face distorts with an ugly glee.
Nana-chan's right here. See?
Slowly, the general extends an arm that was held behind him, and there was Nanako. Her arms were clutched to her chest, and she slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
After taking a step forward, I noticed something bizarre. The general disappeared. For a brief instant, my full attention had been focused on Nanako. The general had been standing directly behind her, but now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly, right in front of me, without me noticing it?
Big bro.
While I'm confused about the general's disappearance, Nanako weakly calls to me. Nanako has obviously been weakened by being in the TV world. She totters towards me unsteadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the general later. I have to save Nanako right now. As I reach out for her, Risei yells.
Senpai, no! Nanako-chan's not there!
Nanako's not there? What's she saying? She's right here. Just as I'm about to say so, my hand stops. Something's not right. I try to look into Nanako's face once more. And in her eyes, I saw madness. Well, that's great.
Oh, so close! Just a little more and Sensei would have been a goner!
You bastard!
I'd barely reacted in time to draw my sword to block the attack. The general suddenly appeared out of nowhere to attack me with his cane. I got a good look at him as our weapons clashed together. I see the madness in his face. The same madness that I've seen in Nanako's only a moment before. That's why I noticed that Nanako had disappeared. What's going on?
You've got it wrong, Senpai. It's all been him from the beginning. He can make whoever's looking at him see him as someone else.
So he's not actually taking on other forms?
No, he's just distorting the things you see and hear.
That's right, the enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I had realised that after all the battles I had had today, but seeing Nanako made me forget all of that. The general laughs at this.
It's hard for me to show someone who isn't here. But you actually saw this Nanako girl? You're hopeless.
Just like how my friends hadn't actually gone crazy before our fights, Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. The appearance before me is a fake. He distorts our senses all to make us suffer. But, just as I thought, he couldn't deceive Rise's persona abilities. That's why he kidnapped her, to keep her from warning us during the tournament. Now that I know that, I pushed the General's cane away and jumped back towards the girls in order to distance myself from him. Good. Now I'm between them and the General. I then looked straight at the one behind this bizarre situation.
Who in the world are you?
You still can't tell? Seriously, the level of intelligence around here. Find them. Here. Get a good look.
Look at that axe! And damn, Miss School President is Lapras, would you look at that?
I am a shadow. The true self.
Ain't that surprising? Look at that, that's certain. No, never would have saw that coming.
That's my face.
I saw metal limbs, golden eyes, and a ponytail. And a mirror image of Miss President's face, even though she was standing behind me, trembling.
How about it? You wanted to see what I am, didn't you?
Why does she look like me? That's its true form. That thing is your shadow. This is a shadow? She really came from inside me?
Issei tries to calm Miss President, but the girl shakes her head in denial, squeezes her eyes shut. While Miss President refuses to look at the mechanical looking being, I now understand what's going on. Because this isn't the first time I've seen a robotic girl before. All the facts match up. The way she was able to run so fast without so much as breathing heavily, even in the TV world. The sense of wrongness that I had when Ms. President had asked me about killing my friends. And the way she avoided telling me her name. That superhuman strength when she hit Chie, and that incredible jump to get away from us. And a shadow's ability to interfere with the senses of other people. Just as Margaret had said, all the pieces of the puzzle were laid out before me. They've all come together, and now I can see the truth. She is indeed Lapras. Lapras, another weapon with a heart, stolen by someone unknown and thrown into the TV world. Created this school and forced us to fight our friends. This deep-rooted depression regarding her past memories. All of this took the form of Lapras' shadow, who manipulated everything here.
Lapras, don't look away. If you don't accept her, she'll get even stronger.
Lapras only shivers when I call out to her. There has to be some reason why she believed that she was the student council president. But that's just a disguise. More for herself than for us. No matter how comfortable it is. It's only there to cloud her eyes from the truth.
I don't know what your past was like. It must have had some painful memories. But you have us with you now. We're going to get you out of here.
I call out to Labrys while keeping my eye on the shadow. The shadow is the darkness within a person's heart. Unless it's accepted by the person it came from, it will never disappear for good. But with that in mind, all we can do is watch over her as she accepts the darkness within her. We'll have to protect her when the shadow goes berserk and tries to kill her, but Labrys continues to shake her head and tremble violently. My words aren't getting through to her.
You hear that, me? Your friend is trying to tell you something. Too bad he doesn't understand at all. These clowns are so hopelessly naive.
The shadow laughs shrilly. It continues to smear more poison into Labrys' heart.
I wish I could have made them feel my pain. What it's like having to murder one another. That sadness and pain and anguish. Everything went black, and I was always left alone. I'm a weapon. A machine made only to fight. No human can understand my suffering.
And I feel like the protagonist of P3 will probably understand you pretty well.
Stop! I've had enough. I'm human. I'm not like that.
This isn't good. I settle into a fighting stance, ready for anything. Though I have a good idea of what's going to happen.
Oh, you're still clinging to that. Then take a look at what you really are.
The shadow's eyes gleam with golden light. The change begins immediately. A shimmer runs across Labrys' body, and instead of the normal human girl that had been there a moment ago, she has a metallic body, just like her shadow.
No! No!
Labrys uses all composure and scratches at her arm, trying to. Oh wow, that's an actual mental breakdown. Well, shit. Okay. But there was more to her. There was more to her to change than just her arms, her legs, waist, chest, even her head. Everything not covered by clothing was now obviously mechanical. In reality, or the reality that she didn't want to face. There were no words we can say to her. No matter what we say, reality won't change. Labrys falls to her knees, and finally mutters the words I was dreading she'd say. What? What? What?
Welcome
What?
to the Velvet Room.
No, no!
This place exists between dream and reality.
No, fuck off, you can't do that!
Matter. Now then.
No, fuck off, you can't do that!
Introduce yourself.
God! Fucking... Ugh.